Yo, what's good, YouTube? Colossal Boxing Talk back today with Colossal Boxing Talk first annual yearly awards, and we're gonna let Mr. John JG start this because of his post on Facebook that was very controversial.
Very controversial. The Casual of the Year Award. Well, first and foremost, I want to introduce the candidates. We had Jim Lampley, we had Dan Rayfield, we had Skip Bayless, and we had Steve Weisfeld, the new scorer, the unofficial scorer for HBO, who took Harold Letterman's job. And the reason that we picked those four guys, I mean, for people who haven't been paying attention to our hangouts or whatnot, those are the guys that we kind of win on this year at some point, whether it be a bad score, whether it be just giving love to one fighter and not the other. I mean, it was pretty much a joke. Like, casual amongst us kind of means guys that say outlandish stuff, people who try to push agendas, that stuff that we're trying to get rid of out of boxing. So for those who didn't get the joke, I'm sorry. We thought it was pretty damn hilarious. But the casual of the year belongs to Mr. Skip Bayless. You, sir, don't know shit about boxing.
You definitely don't. You look like a fool. You sound like a fool when it comes to the sport of boxing. And I'm gonna need you to not talk boxing ever again. Study before you get on first take and run that mouth. Especially you too, Stephen A. Smith, but especially Skip Bayless. He's a Pac-tard. No offense to the Pacquiao fans. I don't like using that language.
Said that name.
I don't like using that language, but Skip Bayless, he's that. He's the definition of it.
But the sheer fact that anybody said anything outside of Skip Bayless was pretty hilarious to me because, yeah, Lampley's been in the game for forever. Rayfield's been in for forever. Weisfeld's been a judge for over, 1,000 fights or whatnot. So just the fact that, any vote besides Skip Bayless, that was pretty hilarious to me.
Yeah, honestly, hey, I can't lie. When I saw the post originally, man, I was laughing so hard. And then to see the interaction with it, people were like, well, how is he a casual? Because this and that. If he's been in boxing for this and that many years.
and also, just because he's been in boxing don't mean he can't be a casual. You know what I'm saying? We didn't say that they didn't know what they was talking about. Only Skip knows something, but he doesn't know obviously nearly enough as Dan Rayfield, Lampley, and Westfield. But just because you know boxing don't mean you can't be a casual. We all remember Lampley when Pacquiao was fighting Clottey. He kept on he was just busting whatever because he was just bang 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 when Clottey wouldn't punch back. Bang bang bang. He still not punching back. Bang bang bang. He ain't doing
like
anything.
John Witherspoon.
And then Rayfield, man, like I said, Rayfield, I think people give him a little bit of a pass. Because sometimes when I read what he write, it just don't come off as natural, like he really knows what he's talking about in terms of the sport. Like the business side, I'll give him an A for that because he knows that to a T. But it wouldn't be far-fetched to say he's somewhat of a casual.
Not at all. It wouldn't be. But
just because you watch all the fights in history don't mean you study it. There's a difference between studying and watching.
Absolutely.
Good point.
Absolutely.
Good point.
Okay, now with that being said,
yep, ended.
Jarrell, excuse me about that. Big Cool, who's your candidate for the casual of the year?
Well, it's Skip Bayless, obviously, because it pains me to watch First Take when they talk boxing, because I think I'm just killing brain cells or whatever when I'm just watching them just talk and spew ignorance about the sport that we love and we're passionate about. And hey, I'm glad they don't get Rayfield on there because there'd be 3 casuals, and that would make it, you know what I'm saying? That wouldn't make it no better. You throw Carrie in there, she don't understand nothing either. She don't know boxing either, so she just Skip.
Carrie look good though, so
and she look good, but that don't mean nothing. She can stay, of course, but I'm saying you throw her in there to talk it, then you really off subject. But Skip Bayless definitely takes the cake, but Dan Rayfield's second in my opinion.
Okay.
We should
Okay.
have made a worst judge of the year too.
Oh man. Okay. The first. Okay. Now it's time for me to give my vote. My vote also goes to Skip. I don't know shit about boxing at all. Literally, I don't care how many years I've covered it. Bayless. Because something I heard him say that threw me all the way off. He said on live television, he said, "Yeah." He said, "You know something? You know why Floyd Mayweather doesn't want to fight Pacquiao?" He's like, "Why?"
Mm.
Because he's scared he's gonna get cut. And I'm sitting there, I'm
What?
like, "What? What the? I mean, so if you're scared of a cut, you might as well not fight. Period. Come on, man, you got to make it make sense."
Yeah, he said he get cut and hit. Like, he didn't been hit before. I can see if you was talking about some fighting with knives. Then, of course, anybody be scared, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Fighting with, yeah, I don't want to fight with knives because I get cut. But Skip sound like a damn fool, man. He an idiot
This,
when he comes to
for
boxing.
one, Skip said that Manny Pacquiao was looking bad in his fights to draw Floyd in.
Yo,
Get
man.
hit on purpose. Like, come on, dog.
Brandon Rios. But, that's just rare. But that's, a few guys like that. But Pacquiao don't try to get hit like that, man. Skip just dumb as hell. Somebody paying these motherfuckers to make themselves look like a fool. You could pay me enough money to make myself look stupid on national TV.
Exactly. Hey, you know something else, though? But let's go and get into the real first official award, the comeback performance of the year, and I'll let Big Cool start this.
Oh man! All right, hold on. What was you saying now? What you just say?
The comeback performance of the year.
Man, I was leaning towards Steve Cunningham because he came off the canvas. I believe I don't think it was twice, but he came off the canvas once
No,
against.
against
Was it twice?
yeah, it was
Mansoor.
twice. It was twice against Mansoor, I
Okay,
think.
he came up. I'm kind of torn on that because that was a fight. Even though I picked him to win, it was a dangerous fight going in, and that was looked at as a competitive fight, maybe 60-40 to Mansoor.
Hmm.
But the Toriano Johnson Curtis Stevenson fight wasn't looked at as to be competitive. He was a young fighter coming up and um and he did his thing with Johnson Stevenson coming back. But I'm gonna go with Cunningham and Mansoor just because the dramatic back and forth fight. It was a competitive fight. You know what I'm saying? For him to drop Mansoor and kind of outbox him later on, I
Right.
think he deserves the comeback fighter or fight whatever victory of the year.
Okay. JG.
And pardon me if you hear a little construction upstairs. My little son's running around. But my comeback, my my comeback fighter of the year would be Curtis Stevens, the 10th round against Toriano Johnson. Man, I mean, Toriano Johnson was on his head like pretty much the entire time. Like, he was just pressuring him. Putting Curtis Stevens in a weird situation where he's used to being the aggressor and used to getting guys out of there, and Toriano Johnson being an undefeated fighter, made it hell for him. Because when you got that zero, you're not used to it, so you fight a little bit harder. And Toriano was up by a lot, whooped Curtis pretty much the whole fight, and Curtis had that ninth inning home run where he hit him, hurt him, and it was a stoppage. I thought it was a really good fight. It was really close for fight of the year for me. So that's where you got my vote.
Okay. And Mouse.
Oh, hold
Mouse.
on, hold on. I got it. I got his hold on. His comeback win is Andy Lee.
Okay. And I'm entitled. I'm gonna agree with Mouse on that. I believe that Andy Lee definitely deserves the comeback performance of the year because against John Jackson, because that was a fight where he was thoroughly getting outboxed and he was losing badly and he was at the verge of being stopped potentially. and out of nowhere came that right hook, and good night. It was sick. So like I say, I vote Andy Lee. Mouse vote Andy Lee. Big Cool votes
Stephen
Steve
Cunningham.
Cunningham, and JG voted for Curtis Stevens. 2 out of 4. So Andy Lee is the winner.
Of the Colossal Boxing Talk comeback victory, or whatever it is, comeback fighter of the year, or whatever. What are we labeling this?
Comeback performance of the year.
Okay, comeback performance of the year. So congratulations to Andy Lee.
Okay, next in line is Smooth Cat's favorite topic in boxing: prospects of the year. All right, we're gonna start this one off with JG. Who was your prospect of the year?
Well, we pretty much we came up with a pretty good list of guys, and Smooth Cat does a really good job of touching on these prospects. So we got Amir Imam, we had Julian Williams, we had Earl Spence, and who else do we have?
Felix Verdejo.
Yes, right, Felix Verdejo. How did I forget the guy who had 7 fights in a year? You know what I'm saying? 7 fights. That's pretty damn active.
Hey, no Anthony Joshua.
He's on the list, but I mean,
he wasn't in the top 5.
Right. I don't got him in the top 5 yet, but he's one of the top upcoming heavyweights.
He's coming.
Yes, he is.
But yeah, I thought Verdejo had a pretty active year. Maybe not as against stiff competition like Imam had. I mean, the guy that I'm going with is Earl Spence. I mean, everybody likes Earl Spence. Earl lets his hands go. He's a gritty, tough southpaw. A lot of guys, a guy like Floyd Mayweather will tell you this guy's really tough. He's coming. I think that he's probably most ready to challenge for a championship pretty soon. But that's my pick. I'm going with Earl Spence.
Big Cool.
All right. Before I give mine, it's gonna be a tie because Miguel, he's also went with Errol Spence as his prospect of the year. So it looks like we're gonna have a cold prospect of the year. But I'm going with Amir Imam. Me and Mike big on him. I was a fan after I seen him fight Jerry Robertson, where he knocked him through the ropes. He dominated that fight. Even though Robinson had his moments, Imam I think he's 23 years old. He's under Don King, which could be a bad thing because he's not as active as he should be, or as you would like to see a young guy, at this stage of his career, be. But the sky's the limit for him. Hopefully that he doesn't run into any tricky situation with Don King that stunts his growth, because we know what can happen when you out of the ring for a long time, due to inactivity. But he has the power, good speed. He shows that he can adapt. He's versatile. So he's one of my favorite up and coming fighters, and I like that he's humble and he's a hard worker. So he's the real deal in my book.
Most definitely, and like it was just mentioned, it's gonna be a tie because I've been big on Amir Imam for a while. And when he took that fight and with Yordanis Ugas, I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, Ugas, who was he?" But if you look at Ugas' amateur background and you look at the guys he's fought as a pro, you can see Ugas he's a top-notch guy. And Imam went in there. He lost the first 2 to 3 rounds. After that, he adapted, changed the whole fight around, and he outboxed Ugas for the remainder of that fight. And for a guy that young to show that he can make that type of adjustment, that's a huge sign. That's a huge sign of what he can potentially become. So me, honestly, it's a tie, but Colossal Boxing Talk selects Amir Imam as the prospect of the year.
I, I'm gonna go. It's gonna be co-fight of the year, you know, because we
Right.
can't over. It's equal, so we gonna select
Right.
Miramon and Errol Spence as co-prospects of the year. Hopefully, we get a potential matchup down the line between these tremendous
Oh,
prospects.
most definitely.
You know, congratulations to both guys. We expect big things from you. And we look forward to y'all, you know, stepping it up even more next year.
Most the well, time for the next topic, which will be the round of the year. So far with the round of the year, it was a lot of exciting fights where you can look and be like, you know what, I remember this round for this, and I remember this round for that. But let me see. I'll let Big Cool start this off.
Well, you know how I am, Smooth Cat JG. I flub up some of these names, so I'm not even gonna embarrass myself. But it was Alito versus his opponent.
Hey, that
Uh,
last name long as hell, dog.
yeah, it was Alito versus his opponent. It was round 11. It was round 11, I believe. Well, I think it was 5 knockdowns. Salido scored 3, and his opponent scored 2. But Salido scored the final one in the middle of the ring. I think it was I want to say a right hand, but maybe a left that put him on his back and down for the count in a terrific fight. So that's my round of the year, and I think that's a unanimous decision. But there it is, Salido versus his opponent.
Hey, I agree. Solito versus the last name begin with a T. I can't pronounce his name either, so I ain't gonna make fun this time. But
Yeah,
I believe that was the round of the year as well. Both guys went in there and they gave it they all. Both guys hit the canvas, got up, hit the canvas again, got up, and I mean they just kept fighting the whole round. So um, Solito versus Toki Kichi, they get my vote too.
That's Mouse's vote too as well.
Well, I'm gonna be different from all of y'all. Now what? No, I mean
Oh,
that probably was round of the year, but you know what? My favorite round of the year. No, I mean I'm saying that was round of the year, but my favorite was go back to Toriano Stevens because you know what? NBC needs some love. Sometimes
Yeah,
sometimes they put on some pretty good boxing events. You know, I thought
most of
absolutely.
the time, I think most of the time they do.
I thought that round 10 between Stevens and Toriano Johnson it was dope, man. Look, he was whooping Stevens the whole round, just about taking control, just like he was every round. Then, you know, I mean, they fought back and forth, and Stevens came out of nowhere. I mean, just rocks him. I mean, almost takes his damn head off his shoulders and wins a fight that he wasn't supposed to win. So
He
that
he
was
won
my
he
favorite
won the
round.
fight. He wasn't even in that fight. I think the scores was like 8 rounds to 1 at that time.
He was getting
Yeah,
his ass whooped. Yeah,
Man,
he was.
yeah. Yeah, well, another one of my favorite was Carlos. Oh no, I'm about to shout out our boy, Carlos. I mean, Ponce de
John.
Leon, Ponce de Leon and Wanamar,
Oh
the
yeah,
second fight.
yeah.
That was that was the second round, I believe. Both guys suffered knockdown. I think it was 2 knockdowns for Lopez and one for Ponce de Leon. But that was another one that's honorable mention as a terrific round.
Okay. So Solito and Toka Kijimiya, they get it. Okay.
Congratulations to them.
Yes, sir. Next up is hmm. Let me see. We looked afar and all over to find the knockout of the year. And I'm gonna let Mr. JG start this one. That facial expression, I had to let him start.
Damn, I forgot what I picked for knockout of the year.
You picked the Miramon
Oh
versus
yeah,
Jared
that's right,
Robinson.
that's right. Yeah, because I flip flopped it. Like I had Andy Lee at first, and then I forgot about a mom knocking old boy through the ropes, Jared Robinson. Dude, that was the knockout of the year. I don't care what. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch, but when you knock somebody through the ropes, man, that's something that's real rare, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real rare that you get that, man. It was a clean. I mean, what would you call it? It was a jab. You say it was an overhand right or a right hook? It was so like
a straight right
I
hand.
thought it was a straight. It was a straight right
It
hand.
was a straight right hand.
It was a straight right hand, but it was so like compact.
Destructive.
That, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. And it just the force took him out the ring. It was almost like watching The Incredibles or something. I don't know. It was like he hit him so hard in his face that he felt it in his chest. That was my knockout of the year.
Be cool.
I'm torn because I seen that knockout and that was a great. I rewatched that knockout at least 20 times. Yeah, it was a great one, but man, I'm gonna go with Andy Lee, man. Andy Lee and John Jackson they kind of look like a mom and them, they kind of similarly look, but I'm going with Andy Lee, man. He was getting beat up in that fight, and he just landed a beautiful right hand that slept John Jackson, and he gets my vote. But I'm torn, man. It's close.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm torn between like 3 to 4 fights. Okay, first, Golovkin versus Gill is one because I mean to sit there and to get caught with a right hand the way he get caught and to not even be on balance and just throw back and knock a guy out. I mean, that was a sick one. The was damn, I'm looking at it. I just can't get the name.
De La Rosa.
Yeah. Hey, De La Rosa, James, you know you my boy, but the Hugo Santana knockout is definitely one of the ones that I was sitting there. I'm torn in between. Third, I'll say the Amir Imam and Jared Robinson because that one was sick. And let me see. And I mean another potential one. I'm not gonna put Klitschko in it because I kind of knew that one was coming.
Yeah, it was sick though.
It was, but I'm gonna put Kovalev's body knockout over
Campanello.
Damn, no, it ain't Capello.
Agnew.
Yeah, Agnew. I'm gonna put so overall, me. I'm gonna give this one to Kovalev, just based off the fact that he hit the man with a jab and stopped him with a jab to the body. So I'm gonna give Kovalev my knockout of the year.
Well, we at odds, and Miguel didn't give me his, so oh man.
Okay, let me see how we gonna do this. Pick a number between 1 through 10.
Since the Robinson and Lee, I mean, the Imam and Lee knockout was close. I go with Imam for that one. Just it was because it was close. Like it was really close. But you can also throw in Darnell Boone because he iced that boy.
That's the other one I was thinking of. There you go. Darnell Boone against
he did. Stopped him straight in his tracks.
Dion Shia Miranda.
And then Mansour iced dude too, and Povetkin he iced Takum or Takum, whatever his name is, with that left hook. So
don't
forget Jay Leon when his mama came down there and tried to wake him up.
Yeah. Oh, his mama did try to come wake him up. Oh man,
she did.
I didn't know that. I don't know. Yeah, let's pick a number, man. Let's pick a number because I don't know. I'm gonna give respect to Andy Lee. I'm gonna stick with mine, but let's pick a number.
Go ahead. Pick a number between 1 through 10. You and JG.
3.
8.
Go ahead, Nicole.
I said 8.
Okay. The winner is Amir Imam versus Jared Robinson.
Imam racking him up over here, ain't he?
Yes, sir. Hey, don't let him sneak up and get the fight of the year.
Well, he ain't gonna sneak. Well, he won't get that one, but hey.
Not this year, he ain't.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is. Oh, wait a minute. Fight of the year. And this is a topic I want Big Cool to start this one.
Well, first off, I'm gonna start off with Miguel's pick. Y'all sit down, right? Are y'all good? Y'all sitting down comfortably?
Yeah, yeah.
Providing to give.
His his fight of the year is Bernard Hopkins versus Sergey Kovalev.
What?
Well, that's what his fight is. His fight. Yeah, he got. Wait, hold
Oh,
on, man.
Mouse, what's wrong with you, man?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he said Kovalev versus Hopkins fight of the year. Okay. I don't know what that is, but oh man,
don't say that no more.
I gotta say it one more time so y'all can hear it. He said Bernard Hopkins versus Sergey Kovalev is the fight of the year.
Oh man.
Hey, JG over there dying, man.
Yo, I just seen a fight on my newsfeed on Facebook that might have topped that one between two girls.
You know what? Now I'm gonna say this. Now, if okay, for Mouse is he's definitely one. He our homie. But if he would have came and said the performance of the year for Kovalev, I can understand that. But fight of the year, no, that was not the fight.
I had to read that, make sure. I was like, well, I'm saying maybe I thought he was talking about fighter of the year, and I thought he was talking about fighter of the year, but he had Crawford right there. I was like, whoa, fight of the year. I don't know what fight he was watching. He must have been watching the one he had played out in his head.
Man, hey, he was on Fight Night Champion with that one.
Dude, dog, that could have put us all to sleep. That's how, like, we was just like, whoa. I was like, okay, that's definitely not the fight of the year. But God dang, that took me for a storm. I mean, for a shock. But my fight of the year is obviously my fight of the year is obviously Antonio Tarver versus Jonathan Banks. Now let me chill out. But it's Lucas. No, man. But John died over there, man. No, man. But it gotta be Lucas Matisse versus John Molina, man. That was a great epic fight, man. Knockdowns, knockouts, blood, momentum shifts. You know.
And drama.
You know, it could have been. You could even in the defeat, you could have said performance of the year. You know, from Molina, because nobody expected him to be competitive. I ain't gonna lie. I told him yesterday I didn't think he would, go past 5, but he surprised a lot of people.
He showed he took it to
he took it to Matisse, and it was a great fight, great fight, and it's definitely the 2014 fight of the year.
Well, I'll go this time. And I'm going to agree with Big Cool. I definitely feel that Bernard Hopkins versus Sergey Kovalev has to be the fight of the year. It's just flat. Nah, let me stop. No, but seriously.
I thought Banks and Tarver was good.
No, but Lucas Matisse versus Molina, it was just fireworks. But another honorable mention, Terrence Crawford.
Ooh.
Versus hey, I looked at the end of your name, and then it said Terrell, but Terrence Crawford versus Gamboa was definitely.
Yep, I love that fight.
Was one of the most exciting fights of the year to have only went 9 rounds. It was very exciting.
Great fight there was.
But I'm gonna tip my hat to Matisse versus Molina.
Yep.
JG.
My fight of the year, I pretty much talked about in the interview yesterday. Of course, I think it's the Machine and the Gladiator, and that's pretty much what it looked like. It looked like the Machine and the Gladiator in there fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like blood, guts, glory, all that. Like the reason that we watch boxing is, you know what I'm saying, what that fight was. And I'm going to come up with an honorable mention too that nobody's really talking about, but it was such a great fight that it wasn't supposed to be. But Robert the Ghost Guerrero
Yep.
and Kamagai, that
Mm-hmm.
was a really good fight, and I'm glad that I caught it. It's like every time Guerrero fights, I go to the movies or something. But this time I came back just in time to see that fight, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch this. He gonna whitewash this dude. But let me tell you something. Kamagai, not only does he have a big ass head, he has a chin, and he was
Yes,
taking
he
some
does.
punishment, and he was giving punishment to Guerrero as well. So I mean, I thought that was I should have been a candidate as well, but I mean,
Definitely.
obviously it's got to go to Matisse and Molina.
Yeah.
And almost unanimous decision. Only other competitor was Hawkins and Kovalev. Matisse versus Molina is
I
the
can't
one.
believe I read that, dude. I can't believe man, Hopkins versus Kovalev is a fight of the year. Woo, man, I can't believe he wrote that. And he didn't write, and them one of them ones that thought out because he didn't send it right back. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay,
Right.
blah. You know what I'm saying? He thought about this. He was like, man, I don't see how do you come up with that fight? You got Matisse, Molina, Crawford, Gamboa, and you got Kamagai and Guerrero, and you come up with that. You could have even said Broner versus Taylor, and I'd be like, okay, I see. So
Right.
at least you picked a fight with action. He picked a whitewash. I guess maybe I think maybe he caught the rank. I think he caught the first round in the 11th round. You know, the first round where Kovalev dropped him, and then the 11th round when B Hop shook him up, and he was like, "That two
Right.
rounds right there, that's fight of the year for me." Hey, it's all love, Miguel, but we gotta claim you on that one.
Yes, indeed.
Don't ever say nothing like that on air again, man. No.
Never.
Hey, look, hey, Miguel gonna be the casual of the year after that, man.
Right.
Like what?
Right. Hey, we're gonna have to go back to that vote.
No, that's a better.
Yeah, John,
I had a better fight between Max Kellerman and probably like Roy Jones or somebody.
Right.
Did that?
Yeah.
My God.
John, you gonna have to. Hey, they gonna be like, y'all got some casuals on your team, man. What you talking about?
All right. Hey. All right. The next topic is trainer of the year, and we'll let Big Cool via Mouse start this one.
I think he said Freddie Roach. Hold on. Oh no, he said Dan Birmingham. I'm just joking, dude. He said Virgil Hunter.
Okay.
He like
Man,
smooth like yeah.
I can respect that. Hey, but you said Dan Birmingham, man. I like Dan Birmingham, but no.
Yeah, nah. You know what's bad at Mike said. Another casual answer. Nah, but yeah,
Right.
he picked Virgil. Mine was it came down between John David Jackson and Freddie Roach. But you got to tip scale. It's so hard because Kovalev beat a legend and B Hop, in a dominant fashion. Not no fight of the year fashion, but dominant fashion. But Cotto defeated Martinez when a lot of people other than I guess Move Cat didn't give him a chance, because I sure didn't give him a chance. So I'm gonna go with Freddie Roach.
Okay, yeah, I like that pick. Me, I'm still kind of up in the air, but I'm gonna roll with John David Jackson. That the way he orchestrated that performance against Bernard Hopkins was elite on many levels. I even told him on the interview I did with him, hey, he won the trainer of the year with that one to me, because I mean a lot of people expected Kovalev to beat Bernard Hopkins, but nobody expected Kovalev to dominate like that. So I vote John David Jackson.
Yeah, man. Kovalev's power on that. My bad, John.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Smooth Cat. But I mean, like, I didn't expect him to outbox Bernard Hopkins or and
Right.
outfox Bernard Hopkins, and he certainly did that. But I gotta go with Freddie Roach because not on. I mean, because we're talking about one fight, one fighter. Freddie Roach. I mean, Manny Pacquiao looks almost back to form, not quite yet. But Miguel, I was really impressed with Miguel Cotto this year, and I thought that Freddie Rose did a very good job with him and resurrecting his career. So it wasn't
Right.
necessarily Manny Pacquiao, but just seeing the different Cotto, and I haven't seen that bouncing Cotto step in years, and he was able to get him a couple of stoppages this year, which we haven't seen from him, especially being up in the 150s. I mean,
Right.
154, and then going to getting the 160 title. So I'm gonna go with Freddie Roach this year. I didn't think he deserved it last year. I thought it should have been Garcia last year, but this year Freddie Roach put a stamp on this year, and I think he deserves it.
Okay. Well, three
Damn,
three out of four.
ooh,
Three beats one any day of the week. Freddie Roach, you
damn.
are the winner of Colossal Boxing Talks Trainer of the Year. Congratulations, Freddie. All right.
Touchdown.
And now, the main event of the evening, the most prestigious award of the year. You have the Fighter of the Year. And this time we're going to start this conversation off talking with Smooth Big Cool.
The fighter of the year goes to Terrence Crawford, in my opinion. Uh, Supremely talented.
Is it just unanimous, or do you have other guys who you felt could have won too?
Kovalev could have won. That's pretty much with Kovalev. I guess you could throw Manny in there. He could have got some votes. Good luck. But it really came down to just Kovalev and Crawford, in my opinion. You know, based off guys they fought. Beehive counts as two victories, even though on the record it shows one because he brings so much experience and he's obviously a legend, all-time great fighter uh, in boxing. And Crawford defeated Burns in his hometown or his home country. He defeated what's his name, Gamboa, and then he defeated who else he fight this year?
Ray Beltran.
Ray Beltran in dominant fashion. He dominated pretty much every fight. He struggled early on with Gamboa with the speed and quickness, but he figured him out. He showed he has good power, tremendous defense. Like I
Hey,
said, he's
hey,
the Tim Duncan of boxing. He
hey,
does everything great. I mean, he does a lot of things great.
hey, and your Max Kellerman voice. Hey, this fight went from a back and forth war with Gamboa winning to Crawford literally beating the hell out of Gamboa.
Yep, and he's he is well deserved. And as he move up to 140, we're gonna see if he can continue his dominance in the new division. So he's the
Okay.
fighter of the year.
All right, my vote is I got three candidates, and it took a few people putting me up on this third guy. No, I knew he's Japanese. He's a Japanese fighter,
I
but
heard
with
of him.
him, he's he jumped up two weight classes and he's getting ready to challenge Omar Narvaez, the guy
Who
Nonito
fought
Donaire
him?
fought.
Yeah, he stanked it up in the fight of the year.
But anyway, but he fought him and he's getting ready to fight him, and if he wins this fight, that'll be his second world championship after only 7 professional fights total, I believe. So I mean, for him to do that is, I mean, very unprecedented. But in this year, it's not no disrespect to him. He didn't get the caliber of wins that was needed to compete for this. So for all my people who've been smooth cat, you got to check him out. Hey, I appreciate him. He's definitely a solid fighter. But I mean, he's not in this race. Not to be both.
Yeah.
He's not in this race competing with these other guys. My top two are Kovalev and Terrence Crawford. And the reason why I'm going to give this to Bud is because not only did he have 3 fights against all top-notch competition, he went over to Ricky Burns' hometown and got a decision. Then in his own hometown, he showcased himself as a huge potential sale because he has Omaha, Nebraska selling out where basically the night of the fight they're adding seats to get all the extra people in there. So I mean Nebraska is definitely behind him, and only thing he can do from here is continue to grow his legend and become more and more of a cash cow. Because I mean he's on the verge of it now, and like I say, the performances he put forth this year, even though Kovalev was very dominant, Kovalev fought his win over B-Hop, as Big Cool said, it should count as two. I mean as more because B-Hop B-Hop one of the greatest fighters of all time. But on this note, quantity outweighs quality.
Yeah.
And because B-Hop is the more quality win, but the quantity of Terrence Crawford fighting 3 top-notch opponents gives him the edge. Terrence Crawford, Smooth Cat votes you as the fighter of the year. I'm JG.
And Miguel too. Miguel get him too.
Okay.
I mean, it's gonna be unanimous. I'm going with Crawford on this. I think that Crawford is starting to showcase his skills. There isn't a switch hitter in the game like him. I mean, he can fight both ways, really effective. And I mean, I know that we've sat down, we broke him down, and we think that he might be a little bit better as a southpaw. But I mean, that's going to be a problem for people. And I mean, he wiped out his division. Now, I kind of had it a 2-horse race as well with Kovalev and Crawford. And and obviously, you can throw Golovkin in the mix to me because
absolutely
you put him in there, and he's going to mow him down. He's been mowing him down. I mean, you can't help it. The guy, it's hard to find guys to fight him. So, I mean, he's always going to be in the mix. But I think that Crawford got Burns, Beltran, and Gamboa. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, the reason that I picked him over Kovalev, and I was such a Kovalev, person, where I was like Kovalev was the fight of the year. The reason that I pick him over is the same reason you were talking about, Mike, quantity. Now, let's say the reason I didn't pick Kovalev and it's out of his control is because he didn't fight Stevenson. That's not his fault, you know what I mean? But
right.
You got somebody who pretty much cleaned out their division, and the guy who still has unfinished business. That's not his fault because somebody's kind of hiding behind Heyman at the moment. So it's not Kovalev's fault that I didn't vote him for Fight of the Year. But I mean, you got to go with Crawford for his body of work this year.
And the winner of Fighter of the Year by unanimous decision is none other than Terrence Crawford. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more award. This is the surprise award of the day.
And then we also shift into our boxing wish list and our bold predictions for 2015 after we give out this final award.
Okay, this final award is it's a one-man race. It's only one man who can win this. This is for the smoothest YouTube video maker, Smooth Cat. All right, but on a more serious note, I'm gonna name. Okay, I'm gonna name 2 fights. And I'll start with prospects. I'm gonna name two fights I want to see prospects in next year. I want to see Errol Spence. I want to see him fight. I want to see him fight not only better competition. I want to see him fight a cagey fighter who who's gonna make him think in the ring. Not, I mean, no disrespect to him because I understand he's coming up, but I want him to fight somebody who's gonna make him have to switch his game plan to really show us what he has. And for the next one, both of these guys are cool guys, and both of them are fighters who I'm very fond of. I want to see Amir Imam versus Hammer and Hank Lundy in 2015. I want to see this fight happen, and it's a fight where Amir Imam can get the proper experiences to potentially boost himself to become a title contender, and it's a fight where Hank Lundy, he can also boost his aspirations to become a world title contender. So I would like to see that. Oh, but the opponent I want to see Errol Spence face. I want to see Errol Spence fight Andre Berto. I want to see that fight. I believe that'll be a good fight, and I believe Berto can make Spence. He can get Spence out of his comfort zone. Big cool.
Well, I got more than two, but
no, that's just for the prospects.
Oh, prospects. Okay. Well, speaking of Amir Imam, I wouldn't mind seeing him face Tomas Dolorum, who, even though Dolorum he beat Lundy, I think I think Imam a little more talented and a little more sure of himself. I wouldn't even mind him facing John Molina sometime down the road. Maybe second or third fight of 2015 or whatever, since he's going to be continuing to step it up. So those are two potential guys for him. Delorme or Molina. As far as Spence, maybe he, I don't know if he's ready for Alexander, but Berto is a good choice, or maybe Victor Ortiz. I don't know. That might be crazy, but like you said, when you get two fighters in the ring, and Ortiz is experienced and he has power and speed, I think he can cause a little bit of problems for Spence as well. So Berto or Ortiz and maybe Alexander, what I'm saying, sometime next year, because it is time for him to step it up, man. He had 15 fights or whatever it is, or 14, 15 fights, and it's time for him to step it up.
JG?
So we're going with two. I want to see Imam fight, you know what I'm saying? I do want the Lundy fight. We talked about that, and the thing is, I want to see what he's made of. I think that Hank Lundy, he may not be, he might not be cream of the crop, but the one thing that he's going to do is he's going to test you, and you're going to find out if you're a man at the end of the night. And Imam, I want to see if he's tough. I know that he's 5'11", he's got a really tall frame for that weight division, but I want to see what he's made of. So that's one. And another, I want to see Julian Williams. He's ranked 13th in the world at this point, right?
Right.
I want to see what he does against top 10 competition. Now I think it's the time for him to step up. 154 is loaded. Somebody who hasn't fought in a while, maybe Kirkland or somebody like that.
Ooh, man,
I know.
Godly.
Hey, I'm gonna say this with that. Hey, that's definitely an interesting fight, and honestly, hey, I understand why Big Cool is saying ooh and all, but I mean, when you get a fighter as cerebral as Julian Williams, I mean, as of right now, I wouldn't favor nobody right now, but I'll say, man, if
go ahead, Mike. Smooth.
I think Julian Williams' accuracy and his power can be the difference in that one.
But if Ann Wolf is in James Kirkman's corner, man, and Julian Williams is a terrific prospect, you know what I'm saying? But
absolutely,
man, James Kirkman is a hard dude to figure out, because if he got Ann Wolf in his corner, I don't know what it is about her. He digs deep in his soul, and he just pulls it out, and he just mauls his opponents. until the referee stop or they quit, or he just mauls his opponents, man. Oh man, if he not with
But
Wolf.
It could be to his favor though that what I'm saying, Kirkman's been out for forever, dude. I mean, they can talk all that stuff about ring rust not being a factor all they want, but it is. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
you breaking up, Jake.
Oh, my bad. I was just saying, like, it could be a possible because of the layoff that Kirkland's been on. I mean, I don't care what nobody say. Ring rust is ring rust. It might make it a little bit more even. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to see. All right, step it up a little bit. Let's see what you made of, because 154 is loaded. I mean, even if
Absolutely.
I don't say Kirkland, we got Laura,
Trout.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a whole bunch of people. I mean, he's at 13 right now. I mean, you got to try and crack the top 10, so you got to beat one of those guys.
Absolutely.
Also another guy that Spence could probably face. Maybe it'd be far fetched right now. Is another guy we interviewed, Mike, last week. And maybe that's Mauricio Herrera. You said somebody that's cagey and he's not a big puncher, but he gets in your shit. He's a hard dude to figure out and beat. Ask Danny Garcia, ask Jose Benavides Jr., Provatnikov, Alvarado, Kareem Mayfield. So that's another guy that like he said, you keep lining him up, you're gonna expose him. So you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's another fight. And another dude from Philadelphia, Jesse Hart, the middleweight prospect.
Oh, yes, sir.
Maybe him and Terrenio Johnson or whatever. Maybe that's a fight that could be made. Or somebody like that. That'll be a good fight. Both guys kind of still prospects, even though Johnson fought and was dominating Stevens. So maybe they can fight Johnson and Hart.
Okay. Now, we all know with the main fights, everybody, even I don't want to talk about that certain fight. I ain't trying to be funny.
I told you I ain't talking about that on air.
Right. Hey, we can push that one to the side. But for 2015, I want to see Canelo Cotto. I want to see Gennady Golovkin versus the winner of that. I also want to see Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter or Amir Khan.
Yeah.
If Khan can't get the fight that he wants. And another fight I'm very interested in because it didn't happen and it was supposed to happen. Hey, I want to see Jermell Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade. I want to see that fight bad, but this time we don't want to hear the outside reasons. Oh, it couldn't happen because this and it couldn't happen because that. We want to see that fight. Well, I want to see that fight. I'll let Big Cool go. JG, you can go.
I mean, you pretty much still. I want to see Thurman versus Khan, or I mean, you know what? Yeah. I want to see. Actually, you know what? I want to see Khan versus Brook. That's a big one that I want to see.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's see. Canelo versus Cotto, absolutely. I'm gonna go heavyweight too. And it's already gonna happen, but I want to see Wilder Stavern. That is probably the fight that I'm looking most forward to that is made, and we're gonna see that in a couple of weeks. So I'm excited about that.
Absolutely.
And I want to see. The thing is, Stevens and Vlad is already made, which kind of pisses me off because I wanted to see, like, you know what I'm saying, Fury. I want somebody to fight Fury, like, I mean, Chisora, yeah. I mean, I already told you how I felt about Chisora, but I want to see somebody. I would have liked to see Brian Jennings fight Fury, or somebody like that, where then the winner gets Vlad. I don't think that Brian is ready for him at this point.
I don't think he'll ever be ready for him.
And I was gonna say the same. And
he's just too small, man. He's talented, but he's just too small.
Way too small. And you know what? Like I said, I respect the hell out of Brian Jennings, but I'm trying to wonder. For his management team, it's not to say you got to go into fights thinking you can't win, but I think it comes to a point where you have to be kind of honest with yourself. And that's one of those fights. If if I was gonna put Brian Jennings against a guy for a heavyweight title, I would have him in line to fight the winner of Stavern and Wilder.
I agree.
But I mean, to put him against Klitschko, I mean, I like I say, more power to him for taking the fight. But ooh, Lord,
yeah, exactly.
Leave it at that.
And my last one, I got a good one for my last one.
At the end of that fight, you gonna hear this.
Finish him.
Right.
My last one, I want to see Walters and Lomachenko.
Oh man.
Yes, sir. I want to see that one. I think that's a very intriguing matchup, and we deserve that as fans.
Absolutely. Big cool. On the Drew.
I want to see. I'm not gonna say that fight, but I might say those guys' names in different fights. I don't know if people want to see. I don't know if people want to. Man, I got it. I got to do it. I'm not gonna say that fight, but I'm gonna say fights that I would like to see those guys in.
Okay.
And this fight might be crazy, and people might say, "Oh, well, you crazy for even bringing up this," because I don't think anybody will order it. But just off of testing the waters at middleweight. Well, never mind. He don't have a title anymore. But I would have said Mayweather going up to middleweight to face Quillen, for the WBO middleweight title, just to see if he could, make history and win that title off of Quillen. But I want to see Maidana Pacquiao. I really do. Pacquiao is fast. We all know that. But Maidana is relentless, and you know what I'm saying? And he dealt with Khan speed later on in the fight, and I think that his body work would wear on Pacquiao, and as we was talking about, John, Pacquiao doesn't clinch well at all. So Maidana is one of the roughest guys to fight ever. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna hit you in the back of the head. He just gonna get ugly with it. So I like to see that fight. And I like to see Floyd versus Thurman, because I think Thurman can present some challenges for Floyd with his physicality. He got good hand speed, good power, and he's confident that he can beat Floyd. I also want to see Wilder versus Klitschko because, it ain't no need to be shitting around. If he win a title, man, it ain't no need to be sitting on it. You know what I'm saying? He need to make one defense in Alabama. And then he need to fight Klitschko if he wins against Stavern. I want to see Canelo versus Quillen too, to see how good Quillen is really against an elite fighter. And of course Lomachenko Walters. I want to see Abner Mares versus Santa Cruz. It's a fight I always wanted to see.
Absolutely.
And damn, that fight need to happen, man. It's so many fights I want to see, man. It's just hard to narrow them down. And I want to see Ward and Golovkin. I want to see Ward and Golovkin. Bad. But
honestly, I don't know why the public isn't asking for that as much as the fight that we're not going to mention. Because that right there, and I really don't think that they're building it up like they should, But who am I? I'm just a guy on Colossal Boxing Talk.
You're a very important guy on Colossal Boxing Talk. You're very important people. So that's who we are. We are Colossal Boxing Talk. But also Stevenson and Kovalev, whatever.
I have to
damn
effect on that one.
Yeah, them some ducking motherfuckers, but I mean not them. That's a ducking motherfucker. But I want to see matter of fact, I want to see Andre Dirrell versus Stevenson. Since Dirrell he back strong and he campaigned at 175 and 168, that'll be a good fight.
I agree. That would be a good fight. But, ladies and gentlemen, we kept you guys for a while with our first award show.
Hey, one more thing.
I'm gonna let you go. But, go ahead.
Hey, what is y'all? Hey, what is y'all one bold prediction for 2015?
My bold prediction is Gennady Golovkin will be the undisputed middleweight champion at 160 next year.
Is that really a bold prediction? That's just a matter of time.
Okay, my bold prediction is, in November, Gennady Golovkin will knock out Carl Froch.
Whew, shit.
Whoa.
I don't know. I ain't know they might fight, but that'll be a big accomplishment. I kind of heard that he was close to finalizing the deal with Chavez Jr. But
Chavez
you
Jr.
know,
And I'm gonna go on record early. Chavez ain't gonna win that fight.
All right. My bold prediction is that David Hayes somehow comes out of the sling and he fights somebody and then demands a Klitschko fight. Oh, my bad. That's not a bold prediction. It's gonna happen. Let's see. Somebody's gonna retire Bernard, and I think Bernard probably gets knocked out this year.
Oh man.
My bold prediction is that Andre Ward will move up to 175 and face Sergey Kovalev. Man, cut out with that's a bold prediction.
All right, but ladies and gentlemen, Colossal Boxing Talk is out.